I'm actually going to show you some of these trades today. I'm going to show you all my defensive. I'm going to show you all the defensive trades that I've got on now, all the stuff that's actually printing money right now. I think it'll be really cool.
Nice. Yeah, really looking forward
yeah, fuck you, mosquito.
to this, So picked up a couple of questions that were really popular in the group. So this is what people have been kind of talking about.
Hey, Gary. Yeah. I mean, these are all the things that I think we should talk about. And like, let's be honest, there are some topping signs. Like, I don't think we can say it unequivocally one way or the other. 2 weeks ago, it was like, I've never seen a setup so bullish. It could be just that we're a little bit out over our skis a bit, like everyone recognized the amazingness of that setup and everyone bought in, and that created an exhaustion period, I mean, or it could be that, Trump launching a meme coin and it going to $80 billion in 2 days was a classic topping signal. Like we owe it to ourselves to really look at all of the evidence. And I think that's what I want to do today. I want to look at all the evidence, look at the evidence for its topping, looking for the evidence that the bull market continues. And then we're going to assign probabilities to it. And we're going to do it in the chat as a bit of a workshop. So the way that proper traders do things is not like kind of idiots will say, oh, this is definitely going to happen. Well, if you knew what was going to happen in the future with that crystal ball clarity, if you're so fucking smart, why aren't you rich? Like, I mean, that's basically it. So what we have is probabilities, and we're going to assign probabilities to each of the scenarios, and we're going to update those probabilities, making them more or less likely as new information comes in. That's the proper way to do things. And then I'm going to show you the defensive trades that I've got on now that are still working no matter what.
Nice. What a session. Right. I'm going to put glasses on. What a session. Let's go.
It's going to be a little bit nerdy compared to what you used to. And yeah. But if you don't understand some of the technical stuff, just bear with me. I'll be explaining it all in due course. Okay, so on November 6th, Trump got elected. Felt like we're on a free kick. He promised to give us everything that we wanted. We've outlawed crypto crime. There's no such thing as any illegal crypto stuff anymore. We fired Gary Gensler. We've got ETFs on everything, including a Trump family ETF. The Trump family heavily invested their own money in crypto. It's hard to imagine a more bullish setup than that. Like it really is. And this was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Hard to imagine a more bullish setup than that. We all got a bit excited. We got out over our skis, so to speak. We started buying low quality coins and celebrity trash coin scams. We bought the dip. I bought the dip in let me show you a couple of dips that I bought. Oh no, that's false. So I bought the dip here, and the dip kept dipping. I also bought some more Retardio at 7 cents, currently at 3 cents. I bought the dip like here. Looked okay, kept dipping. The breaking point in retrospect was the Melania launch, which happened the day after the Trump launch. And this kind of killed the Trump coin because, everyone tweaked that the whole grifty family were going to get in on the act. Trump started talking about tariffs. Tariffs are very problematic for the global economy because people can do them to you as well as you do them to other people. And then there's these scumbags called the LA Vape Cabal, Frank DeGods, Aiden Ross, a bunch of little, faggoty millennials, launched a scam coin every day for weeks. and they just farmed and rugged their users every single day. They're still doing it. And so, you know, live by the Trump, die by the Trump kind of thing. Here I am saying, well, when Trump talks about tariffs, this fucking sucks. Like stock market hates tariffs. Now, the stock market's up big overnight. So I think the market's finally shrugging off that tariff bullshit news. The key point you need to understand is that crypto is a bet on liquidity. It's a bet on the global economy going strong, everyone having excess money because the stock market's going up, because there's plenty of money sloshing around, and us looking for risky things to gamble on. Crypto is not its own thing. It's not the future of money or like whatever, all that bullshit you might have been indoctrinated to. It's just the stock market on steroids. And its correlation with US stocks is very, very high. Now, here I've got the red line is Bitcoin. The blue line is the NASDAQ. So you can see that when the NASDAQ goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When the NASDAQ goes, Bitcoin goes up more than the NASDAQ. When the NASDAQ goes down, Bitcoin goes down more than the NASDAQ. When the NASDAQ goes up, crypto goes up. When the NASDAQ goes down. When the NASDAQ goes up, crypto goes up, and so on and so forth. And we see this all the way. So if we get a full-blown trade war between China and the USA, or Canada and the USA, who the fuck would have thought that? Fucking snow Mexicans, god damn it. Or the Mexicans, like they're a pretty significant trading partner, then stocks are going to go down. This is just the truth of it. So we're kind of at the mercy of stuff that we can't predict. I don't think anyone in the world, including his own family, have an edge in predicting what Donald Trump's going to do. He wakes up every day and he does the thing that he wants to do, and we voted for it. Like America unequivocally voted for Trump's take a wrecking ball to everything policy, and he won in a landslide victory. That's what they want. America is well and truly, and Americans are happy with Trump's leadership. And I have to admit, as a not Trump guy, like he's doing an okay job. Like I think he's doing an okay job, like compared to what he could be doing. What we got to do, we got to look at the evidence, and then we've got to weigh the probabilities. And we've got to decide on any alterations to our strategy. And today I'm going to show you some defensive trades, which I'm doing right now, which don't require the market going up. That things that can keep us fed until the good times roll again. Dude, anyone in the fucking chat who wants to talk about politics? Yeah, I got some politics for you right here. You know, no one wants to fucking talk politics at 7 a.m. on a fucking morning with people who don't agree. I'm a very left-wing sort of guy. Like that's just the way I am. But, you know, America voted for Trump in a landslide. They want what he's doing. And that's just like, this is something that, dude, how about you toss this fuckwit out of the chat, please? Fuck off. Have a cup of fuck right off, buddy. Today I'm going to show you some defensive trades that I'm doing, which don't require the market going up. That'll keep us fed until the good times roll. Let me just, Ian can do that. That are going to keep us fed until the good times roll. So this is my starting point for the odds. I think, and we're going to go through it in detail, and then we're going to talk about it in the chat. We're going to see what everyone else thinks. I think we've got about a 30% chance that this big wick was the end of the fuckery, and that we might fuck around a bit here and then go up. I think the highest probability is probably that we have another scare the hose, scare the children moment, go down a bit. Whether or not we get to here, I'm not sure. It could be to here and then go. I think there's probably a realistically 20, maybe 25% chance that Trump just fucks it up. That he just fucks it up and we go straight down. Always a chance that it gets fucked up. Could be Maria thinks that 20 and 30 are inverted. That could be so. That could be so. We're gonna examine it. You could very well be right. So I think the highest probability is one more drop, then we bang. I think, yeah, between 20 and 30% chance that we go straight from here. Between 20 and 25. Fibonacci numbers have never worked in crypto, so don't worry about those. Despite the last few weeks of fuckery, there is still an extremely strong bull case. So the first point, this is Trump's own wallet, the World Liberty financial wallet. This is what he owns. He owns 33 million bucks of Tron, which is a fucking scam chain used for money laundering everywhere. He owns some USDC. He's got some dry powder. He's got some ETH, which he's staked, and some ETH, which he's holding. He's got some Tether, so he's got some stables. He's got this Move coin, which I don't know anything about, and he's got Ondo. So he's got a lot of money in crypto. And we all know Trump loves pumping markets. He loves stock markets. He loves crypto markets. He really, really loved seeing his own coin being the most successful crypto launch of all time. He promised to do it. And, you know, like I said, I don't particularly like the guy, but so far he's doing what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to do tariffs. He said it 100 times he's doing tariffs. He said he was going to make crypto legal. He said it 100 times. He's made crypto legal. All the other stuff he said he was going to do, even the crazy stuff like buying Greenland and Doge and like the stuff that sounds like fucking fever dreams of a maniac, he's like trying to do it. And people voted for it. Like at the end of the day, people voted for it. He's the first ever president who's launched his own crypto ETF. This fucking thing, this is nuts. Like by historical or any reasonable standards, having the president launch his own ETF on shitcoins is just insane. He's going to start a strategic crypto reserve. You know, you get no prizes for guessing that the strategic crypto reserve is going to be the shit that he actually owns. So he's going to pump his own bags. Paul, it's definitely corruption. Definitely corrupt. There's no doubt that a president making moves that are going to benefit him personally and make him even wealthier personally and his family wealthier. There's no doubt that that's the definition of corruption. There's also no doubt that that's unequivocally what the people voted for. He said he was going to do it, and he's doing it. Now, the next thing that's a really bullish case is that I might load up some on-chain data to show this a bit more clearly. We had a massive liquidation event. This big long wick is everyone getting wrecked. And you can see the previous examples of it. And I might just load up some on-chain data so you can see it a bit clearer. This is a really useful page, by the way, stats.hyperliquid.xyz. If we go to liquidations down here, you hold your mouse over it until you find the dates with the big liquidations. And then you can see that they are this date, this date, this date, and this date. These liquidation events usually mark major bottoms since they shake all the weak guys out. So this is a point in favor of, well, everyone got liquidated on this date. There's no one left. It's probably going to go up. Yeah, there's so many Trojans and hacks going on at the moment. One of our traders got hacked a couple of days ago with $185,000 of big chunk of it was mine personally. Some of it was our CFO's, some of it was James's. It's like an endemic. And our French buddy Antoine got hacked. He didn't lose any money, but he got hacked. You've got to be very, very careful right now about hacks. Now, considering that Bitcoin is around 100,000, what are we today? Let's have a look. Where are we at? We're at 96,000. You know, we've been hovering in this range, you know, just below 100 for years. Considering that Bitcoin is up, like sentiment has never been so bad. Like Okay, so for everyone in the chat, could you rate how you're feeling about this market from a 10? A 10 is a super bullish, and a 1 is we're completely fucked. Just whack it in the chat if you can. We got a broad mix. We got some very bullish, and we got some it's completely over and we got some in the middle. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing data. So we don't have consensus. I think this is what we're taking from it, right? Like we don't have consensus. A lack of consensus is very good, Seville. Very good. What it means is we have uncertainty, and trading is decision-making under uncertainty. If everyone knew what was going to happen, there would be no money in trading. Trading is most profitable when you don't know what's going to happen. So the price action from the February 3 lows, see this big wick, shook everyone out, closed higher, and now we went down for a couple of days. Now, let's look at how it went down. See how this candle is almost completely contained within the other candle. So it's pushing down into price where it's been before. And then this candle has probably 80% overlap with the previous candle, and it's a smaller range. So it went down quite strong, bounced a little bit, went down less strong, bounced a little bit less, went down a little bit more, but not as strong, and bounced a little bit more and closed about the same. And then we started to go, but this rally is not particularly convincing. This rally is a lot of overlapping bars, a lot of upper and lower wicks, a lot of upper and lower wicks, upper wicks, trying to go up, failing, trying to go down, failing, trying to go down, failing. It's not convincing. It's not convincing. It could go straight up. It could go sideways for a bit and then go, it could start a new leg down. We just don't know. But we've got enough evidence that I think you still have to be nominally bullish in at least the medium term, even if you're not bullish in the short term. But what about the bearish case? Like, we have to examine the idea that, well, what if we're fucked and we've topped and it's fucked and we're going to decline another 80% from here? What if that's the case? What if we're in a lunar in 2022 moment, which I think everyone still has PTSD from lunar, fucking all the retards and SBF. The bearish case is that Trump crashes the clown car of the economy, or inflation takes hold. If we get inflation and the Fed has to raise rates, whoa, I don't think crypto is going to work then. A trade war would do it too. I got shafted in Luna, fucking cunts. God damn it. That was a tough day. Yeah, that was a shitty day at the races, wasn't it? Fucking. So when we've made so much money the last fucking year, like let's not forget that we deserve it because we put up with all that shit. So every crypto bull market has been driven by rate cuts, and rate cuts will kill it. Exactly like it killed the vibe in 2021. So what about the idea that we might be dropping one more time and then starting a bull market from a real position of absolute despair? I think that's probably something that we have to pay serious attention to. So we have signs of topping. Let's look at them in detail. So the bull run started in the election, which was 6th of November, right? I think in the chat, I think it was 6th of November. Everything went up since then. Like stock market, crypto market, like we were on. The top 5 coins since that day: H-bar, dinosaur coin, like XRP, the dumbest coin in the world, because there's no finite supply. They can just print more. OM, I don't even know what the fuck it is, but FinRev is long it. Stellar Lumens, like that is a dumb fucking idea for a coin. And VTHO, I've never heard of it. So these are the top 5 coins. The bottom 5 coins, memes. And old memes that no one thought were cool anymore. Nero, and Rune, which went broke. Book of Meme, I don't know what people is, never heard of it. And whiff wasn't funny the second time I saw the dog with the hat on it. Wow, dog with the hat on it. Wow, it's so cute. Like that was. Price changes during the bull run. I put this into a chart so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the bottom 5 and the top 5. You can see that they all topped really at the same time. Is the people think he is alien? Oh, fuck that hoe. God, what a fucking ugly, ugly human being inside and out. There's no doubt that the president launching a meme coin and going to 80 billion, that's a potential topping signal. I mean, that is a sign of euphoria. That's a sign of people getting excited for no reason at all. And we can reasonably expect some pullback afterwards. You know, there's a lot of tourists in this market. My phone was ringing. Hey, have you heard about XRP? Blah, blah, blah. I was getting a lot of that for around that time. Now, what I've done here is I've plotted the percentage of altcoins that hit their peak. And you can see that almost nothing had hit its peak. Well, almost, let's turn it around. Almost everything hit its peak in this very small window between December the 3rd and the 9th. Okay, I stand corrected about XRP, guys. I still think it's a shitcoin. I still don't think there's any value proposition to it at all. Because the company survives by selling XRP to people who get excited by it. There's no revenue stream. Even if it does get used for Swift banking, it's not. You don't get a share of that. It's not ideal to be used for money laundering because USD Tether is a much better money laundering coin. So to me, it just doesn't have really a use case. Like, it doesn't. So 80% of altcoins hit their peak in this little period that I've put in a circle. And you can see that that's true. So this is our total altcoin market cap. And since then, we've had choppy action. It looked like we might go out and we failed badly. So, I mean, if you looked back on it and saw that this was the corrective period and we went straight up, you wouldn't deny that. The key insight is that the market was highly concentrated at the top. When almost every coin is going up at the same time and performing at its best in a very, very short signal interval, FinRev was making the most money in there. That's generally what a top looks like. And I'll just show you what that looked like on FinRev. You can see it looked like this at various vol targets. So, you know, it just printed money on FinRev and then we gave a lot back. This is up to about, at 50 vol, it was up to about 134% for the 12 months. And now it's sitting at 85%. So pretty reasonable sort of a drawdown. Now, since then, since that topping, memes all down, ape down 98%, Fartcoin, hot air. SPX 6900 has held up reasonably well. Layer 2s have got absolutely cunted, especially the VC ones. Absolutely wrecked. SKL 97%, Matic 89%, Manta, big VC coin, IMX, good chain, shit price action. So the layer 2s copped it right in the ass. DeFi, not unscathed. ENA I hold a lot of, down 60%. I hold a lot of Ray, down 33%, better than most. Rune went broke because Rune was used for money laundering and crime chain through ThorSwap, and they just fuck things up. Aave, Trump owns a lot of this, down 62%, not as bad as the others. all this AI agent stuff we've been shorting, it's all fucked. There's just nothing there. This is all complete bullshit. The virtuals, the goats, the AI 16. Dupe is a very good coin, by the way. Thank you for saying that, DJ Nasty. Hype is ridiculously strong. Ridiculously strong. You know, today it's within, what is it, 26 bucks. It was at 32 bucks at the peak. Hype is an absolute barbarian of a coin. TIA, all this modular blockchain VC done bullshit, fucked. All of this gaming and NFT stuff, fucked. Layer ones, Bitcoin has held up really well. Ethereum couldn't get any more hated. Like fucking Vitalik came out yesterday saying we've got to make communism great again. Like, you idiot. Read the fucking room. No one wants to hear commie propaganda from a coin that everyone hates. Solana down 30%, not as bad as some others. The VC stuff has been hammered hardest. AVAX, FTM, NIA. SUI held up pretty well. I'm holding some SUI. I don't even know what it does, but Maurizio's long it. ADA down 46, held up pretty well. So the shit, the garbage, ADA, TRX, has held up pretty well. Man, I saw Vitalik once in Bangkok, and I sat and watched him try and order Vietnamese food in a Vietnamese restaurant here. And I sat and watched him for an hour trying and failing to order food. Like, he's just like, he's not just autistic. He's like the kind of guy that needs a carer. Like I'm looking at him and I'm like, how the fuck do you, like, you couldn't get on a bus. Like, he couldn't get on a bus. He's like he's a functional vegetable. Like yeah, he fucking win. Mudang, fuck Mudang. So, I want to tell you the parable of the drowning man. So there's this guy. He's fucking about to drown. Stuck on his rooftop in a flood. Flood waters are rising. Guy in a rowboat comes by. The fella shouted, the man on the roof, jump in, I can save you. And the guy on the roof, he says, no, I'm good, man. I'm praying to God. God's going to save me. So the rowboat fucks off. And then a motorboat comes by. And the guy in the motorboat shouted, jump in, I can save you. And then the guy said, no, I'm praying to God. God's going to sort me. The motorboat went on. Then a helicopter hovered over the top. The pilot shouts down, grab the rope. And he goes, no, I'm praying to God. God's going to sort me out. I have faith. And then the guy drowns, gets to heaven, goes to discuss the situation with God. And God says, I sent you a rowboat, I sent you a motorboat, I sent you a fucking helicopter. What the fuck were you doing, you stupid cunt? Bonk. Bonk was down only. You got multiple chances to get out. This is important to understand, especially with this sort of fashionable stuff that's not real tech. When it's there, you gotta take it. Because it's not there when you want it. Short term, I think memes are close-ish to a bottom, but I think only about 10% of memes will come back. I think a lot of them will. I think a lot of them will die forever. Okay, so compare and contrast with the money laundering coin, Tron. I think this is some pretty good technical analysis myself. You can see a single day bar that goes like this. I want to show you some other examples of single day bars that have gone like this. Let's go back to like 2021, and I've left this exit on my chart because it was so fucking good. It's never been touched. You see this single bar where it goes like this? I call it a boner candle. Whenever you see a boner candle after a big run up, This exit on close is your cue to exit. Let's look at another one that we caught in 2021. And to be honest, these two trades, they made my whole year. You can see that when you get a boner candle right at the end of an epic run, you exit at close. That's just what you do. And then look at what happened afterwards to Shiba. Oh, no, that was 2024. Let's look at my one. My one was this. We got in on the breakout here. I left it on my chart. You can see the same pattern. This is very, very common pattern. So when you see this pattern, you don't want to hold anymore. A very important thing to understand. Okay, now of the last week, these are the majors for the last week. Litecoin is the strongest. Litecoin, not a real coin, guys. It's a fucking vaporware, ghost chain, Litecoin. What the fuck? Exactly. So the founder of Litecoin sold out when it hit 300 the first time. It's never been the same. The founder of Litecoin sold out here, 392. He got the best ever price, and it's just been fucked. Oh no. He sold out. Yeah, no, he sold out here. This is a bearish sign. When garbage starts floating to the surface, you got to watch out. We saw this for those of you who were here in 2018. Let's look at some of the garbage that floated to the surface in. Remember Neo? Garbage floating to the surface on January 15, 2018. And again, God sends another rowboat, 2021. It's very bearish when shitty coins start going up. Now, in 2021 at the top, there was some absolute fucking monstrous shit coins going up. Like everything that was bad was going up. So overall, if we did top in early December, we can't really come back and say, oh, look, there were no signs. It was an asteroid strike, hit me out of the blue. No one could have picked that. That's bullshit. There is some evidence that we're going to embark on a mighty bull market and we're going to make 100x our money. There is some evidence that we're completely fucked and far from home. This is where we live, in the world of uncertainty. Personally, I'm still balls long. My personal bags are hype. My biggest bags, I got lots of bags, but these are the ones that matter to me. My personal bags are hype, ENA, Radium, Pepe, which behaves like ETH beta. Pepe is the leading meme on ETH. If ETH ever catches a bid, Pepe's going to go, okay? Retardio, which I'm a bag holder in, but I bought super cheap. I like Retardio. And OX, which is a new trade with the 3 arrows capital scumbags. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today because we're just raping that exchange. It's a monster trade. I'm going to show you how to do it today. So anyway, there's a few others, but those are the big ones. So what do we do? Well, when you don't, no, I'm not looking at MUTM or any new shit. I'm not looking to get aggressive with new tokens. I'm looking to play defense here. So when you don't know what's happening, you play defense. And I'm going to show you my best defensive trades right now that have printed money recently, that are still printing money recently. For a start, it's not the time to be gambling on me. If you hold them, and I do, keep the good quality ones and sit on them. I'm still in Tau, Seville. I swapped my Pendle out for ENA quite a while ago. I think I still have a little bit of Pendle. Memes act like beta to their chain. So Pepe is ETH on steroids, WIF is Solana on steroids, and they're effectively like leverage. The advantage of trading memes is they're leveraged where you can't get liquidated. So you'd be crazy to not take advantage of that. If you're down 95% in PopCat, that can come back really, really well. I kind of like PopCat here. I think it's the leading cat coin. If cat coins ever have a season, it's probably going to do pretty good. If you're down 95% in a meme coin, probably just hold it. Like if Solana catches a bid and cats catch a bid and this and that, I never got Turbo, to be honest. No, I think Pendle is showing excellent signs of a growing, maturing. It gains total value locked. It gains adoption. I use it personally in my trading. I think it's an incredible product. I think it's groundbreaking. I think it's one of the few products which is genuinely innovative in crypto. I think it's great. I like everything about it. The price has been disappointing. Ondo, the president holds. So the next thing is that no more leverage right now. If Trump farts, the world shits its pants. If you're going to trade leverage right now, you will lose. I'm not trading leverage. You shouldn't trade leverage either. Unless you have an edge predicting Donald Trump. And nobody got an edge predicting Donald Trump. Nobody got an edge predicting macro stuff. Nobody has. So the best trade in crypto right now, this is my own account for it until my trader got hacked a couple of days ago, which was fucking disastrous and it makes me furious. But anyway, you can see that we had this steady, this was month-to-date profits, by the way. So we had this steady, straight up march of like money farming the basis trade on OX coin. So the way this works is you buy OX spot coin. You can either buy it on HTX or you can buy it on chain, or don't buy it inside their exchange. I think the best place to buy it is on Base, or you can buy it on Solana. You buy this coin and you immediately deposit this as collateral to the OX fund exchange. Now, what you immediately do is short the chain, and you get paid a funding rate. If we look at what the funding rate is, let's just check it out. You get paid on the hour. What have we got? 394, 536. You know, you get paid, mostly it's been up over 763%, 876% for ages. And this thing just keeps paying you money into your account every single day. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a detailed workshop on how to do these next week, but this is the best trade in crypto right now. There's a number of similar trades, basis farming trades. So the beauty of being long OX and short OX is that if OX goes down, you make money. If OX goes up, you make money. So it's not, so you're not betting on market direction. This is a trade that you can do right now that if the market crashes, you'll still make just as much money. This requires a negative funding rate. I wouldn't do it on Uniswap. I would do it on preferred places to buy OX, Aerodrome on Base and Radium on Solana. You can also buy it on ETH. It's not a straddle. It's called a basis trade. Basis trade is where you go long spot coin and short the futures coin, farming funding rate. You can do the same thing with all the memes, like Savile just posted Shell. And let's look at some of the funding rates available. Let's change that to yearly funding rates. So if we look at, you can just go down the list until you find something that pays you really, really well. And so you're looking for a green one, which pays you to go short, and there's plenty of them, like plenty of them. Do you short at the same price as what you bought at spot? It doesn't matter, Rob. What matters is that you short the same amount. So if I'm short 1,000 OX tokens, I short 1,000. If I'm long 1,000 OX tokens, if I own 1,000 OX tokens, I short 1,000 OX tokens. And yes, that is hedging. So this trade, I'm going to do a workshop on next week. I'll show you all the ins and outs. There's a few tricks with it, but this is fucking dope. You can see the equity curve for it. It's running at a sharp 11.7. The next trade that I want to make absolutely clear is a hell of a fucking trade right now is shorting new listings. All these garbage coins getting listed on exchange, they're getting listed on exchange. Good. I'm just gonna answer John's question because what's the catch? There is a catch. The catch is that you've got a long leg and you've got a short leg. If the price goes up on OX, you've lost money on your short. And you've made the same amount of money on your long, but you're no longer 50-50 balanced. You've got to sell some and buy some to get back in balance. If your short makes money, your short's gone up and your long's lost money. You've got to get them back in balance. But the catch is that every time you touch a basis trade, when you touch any trade, you're losing money. So you try and touch it as little as possible. I'll show you how to do it next week. So the next thing that I think is wonderful, which I've been like raping, new listings. Let's look at some new listings. One that I shorted myself. Swarms. We barely knew you. One of those AI agents. AI 16Z. Melania. The First Lady. Womp womp. You can see we have. In the chat, can anyone guess why all of these fucking coins? Where do you find the new listings so fast? Announce new listings. They give you 4 hours. They give you 4 hours notice. Everything is down, but new listings used to pump. These are going down because the insiders are using them as exit liquidity. If you look at the coins being listed on Binance and now Hyperliquid, they're scam coins. Like, has anyone ever heard of Cheems? So let's look at the Binance listing for Cheems. Wow, actually that one went up. TST. Let's have a look at TST. Yeah. CZ loves TST because he's fucking dumped it on retail. I mean, yeah. So these are the most recent listings: Triple V, Melania, Scottie Pippen, Trump, Anime, Vine, TST. Bera was this VC scam bundled bullshit coin. So how do you do this? You don't get cute trying to say, I like this one, I don't like that one, or I'm worried about. So what you're doing is you're really taking the risk that the thing doesn't moon on launch. So the way to mitigate that risk, you think it's with a stop loss, but it's not really. The way to mitigate it is by doing 10 of them. Do 10, do $1,000 each. If you've only got $1,000 to do it with, do $100 each. Do 10 of them and just keep doing it. Because these are all worthless coins. Scottie Pippen, Melania, Triple V, TST. Trump isn't worthless, but just because of him. Vine, like those are all shit. Personally, I wouldn't be in a hurry to use leverage here. Why? Because these coins are inherently high volatility. Using leverage on high volatility is a recipe for disaster. You can do this on Binance, Bybit, OX, Hyperliquid. Those are my top 4 choices. So let me just put that in the chat. And of those, OX and Hyperliquid are your choices for US customers. Hype trade. Fuck, look at it today. 26. That's a bullish looking chart. That's a fucking great chart. Yeah, you can do it with KuCoin. It just wouldn't be my first choice. I do some stuff on KuCoin. Like, I own some Hyperliquid on KuCoin, for example. Yeah, the hype trade. This is one that should be in all your portfolios. Honestly, it really should. It's the smash hit of the cycle. I think it's going above $100 to $200 if we get a bull market. I think it's going to $50 even in a bear market. I think this is ENA. I love ENA. Okay, let me show you another monstrously good trade. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but since someone asked, let me show you something fucking cool. You'll fucking love this. I wasn't planning on giving this one away, but it's like fucking cool. So they have this thing on here called the DGen feed. The DGen feed is people who want to brag about their trades and who use leverage on memes. For a start, anyone who uses leverage on meme coins is an idiot. You shouldn't do it. Secondly, anyone who brags about their trades on these really thin coins like AIX, GT, Jail Stool, blah, 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 it's the same as the BitMEX troll box. If you buy these, do the exact opposite of what these motherfuckers do, hold for 8 hours, brags. They're bragging about it on this feed. They're like telling people what they've done. And you shouldn't tell people what you're doing in a player versus player environment, because now I can answer, if I see you there, and especially some of these things, Sora, he'll be the only guy trading it on this exchange. I can trade against you. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't tell people about your trades if you're in thin stuff, because I can use that information to fuck you. And so you can hold these trades for 8 hours. And so let's just go back 8 hours ago and let's just pick the first one just for shits and giggles. Let's go 8 hours ago, short ETH at 2636. Oh, 2686. Oh, he lost. What a fucking surprise. Let's just check one more. He's long. Okay, he's short BNB at 682.86. He shorted it here. Where did he short it? No, he couldn't have shorted it there. Oh, it's 8 hours ago. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's about break even. But anyway, you can go through all these, especially the small ones like the jail stools. Long jail stool at 0.073. And you can see that 8 hours ago at 0.073, this guy has just lost money continuously from there. This is both an incredibly good trade, better on the small garbagey stuff like jail stool, but it's also incredibly fun. I spent last weekend just doing the opposite of all these motherfuckers, just scalping out $1,000 a time. It's fucking hilarious. Okay, so you can see that we've got options here. We don't have to just fucking hang and hope, right? Like there's shit that we can do. There's moves that we can make. We can grind it out even from here. Now, I want to show you something really good. Who remembers the dirty carry trade on Hyperliquid? DJ Nasty Nos, Jason, hell yeah. Okay, so this works stupidly well on OX. It works better than it ever did on Hyperliquid. Now, what we have here is this is the total predictive return. This is the stuff with extreme, where you get paid to short. You can see almost everything on OX loses money. You could make money on OX just by shorting everything. So what we want to do is we want to go to this OX exchange and we want to find all of the stuff. And you can do this by, let me show you. So you access this from the Trade Now page. And then you have to click on this funding rate thing. And then what you want to do is click on Markets All and put in your dates and submit and get a list of all of that. And then you click on Export Funding History. It goes to a CSV file, and you can import that into a spreadsheet. You can sort them, and you can find all the stuff that pays you 800% to hold it. There's stuff that pays you 1,000% a year to hold short here. And you can just short it all. This is a very, very, very good trade. This is like a sharp 3.5 trade. It's a trade that we're gonna. So I'm gonna put it in a vault, so you guys don't have to execute it yourself, because it's challenging to execute technically. In the US, what exchange to buy Hype? I would buy it directly on the Hyperliquid exchange, and you can access that with a VPN from hyperliquid.xyz. And yes, you can join our vault. All that happens is you put your money in the same pool as mine, and we take 20% out of the profits for running it, but we only get paid for profits. So I'm gonna do a workshop on that soon. It's just like the Hyperliquid vaults, where you put your money in a vault, and like the liquidity provider. Okay, so this is another vault that I'd recommend in these troubled times. So you can give your money to the Hyperliquidity provider, and it's been, over the last year, max drawdown of 5%. It's earned 32% for the year. It's really good. I'll do a workshop on joining the vault. And you just deposit it into the vault. I'm not taking custody of your coins. You leave it with OX. Trend coins coming along pretty good. Trend coins really making progress. So I'll do another webinar next week on the details of how to do it. So let's just recap. What have we got here? We've got shorting new listings. We've got the basis trade on OX. We've got the hype trade. We've got the dirty carry trade and the vault, which we're opening up for it. The last, easiest, and most obvious trade that tends to go really well when things crash or when things aren't good is FinRev, of course. So let's look at the last 30 days when everything started. A vault is like a pooled funds, like a dodgy hedge fund, like an on-chain hedge fund, I think is the easiest way to explain it. So this is at various volatility targets from conservative to aggressive. And this is over the last month. You can see the last 2 weeks have been especially crap for everyone, but they've been especially good for FinRev. This is an annoying trade to do because it has long periods of going sideways. It feels very frustrating to do, but it's very good. I never heard of RXS Rosenthal. I think real world assets are a thing. I think that's a thing. Which aggregators do I stake hype with? Personally, I use AlphaTix because Loracle is a good friend of mine, one of the developers of Hyperliquid, and I use his personal one. But I would probably use either the Nansen one. Yeah, let's look at DYDX and compared to Bybit. So there's differences based on the universe of coins, but it's not as easy as saying this one's better than that one. You can see that they're very similar. So let's go back and forth a few times. So let's look at Bybit versus DYDX. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different But if you ask me to say which one is better, I couldn't say which one is better. I think Binance is a little better than both of them. I've heard good things about Blowfin. We're integrating Hyperliquid right now. OX is definitely a Ponzi, but it's also a Ponzi that hasn't gone up yet. Let me show you the chart. OX is run by Zhu Su, who famously crashed the crypto market last time and ripped everyone off. He ripped off, among others, Sam Bankman-Fried, who had to resort to crime once he'd been ripped off by Zhu. So in a very real sense, Zhu is the guy who caused the last crypto bear market. He used to be a billionaire. They had $7 billion. Now he's broke-ish. And if you think about what a guy like that would want more than anything else in the world is to be a billionaire again. So he is running a Ponzi on this thing. And it's going to 10x sometime soon, but he is artificially suppressing the price of his own coin, which is why I say don't buy the coin now unless you're going to hedge it. Why is he artificially suppressing the price of the coin? Because he's farming the funding himself. The biggest shorter of OX coin are Kyle Davies and Zhu Su. And this is something I've discovered recently. These guys are fucking their users, and they're doing it to keep the price of their coin down so that they can 10x it later. This is a $50 million market cap coin, and it's going up. It's going up, and you can earn incredible money until then. So let me show you. Let me show you my equity curve on it. You can see day to day, 164, 66, 68, 71, 67, 69. It's just like fucking ideal, right? So I'm going to show you the shortcut to turn out a small grub stake of a few $1,000s into more than enough to retirement. I'm talking at least a few $1 million. I'm going to show you the exact system that's made $10 million in profits this bull market. And if you've fallen behind saving for retirement, or if you're late to the crypto bull market, perhaps you bought just after the Trump election and you're thinking like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked. You still have time, but you're way behind. You've got to act fast. I'm going to show you the fastest, lowest risk way to build your nest egg safely. And this is what FinRev's done. And it's got a very, very high cumulative return. But day to day, it's very slow. It feels like it's 93% a year. You know, sometimes Trump coin does 93% a day and you feel like you're missing out. So we have a Sharpe ratio over 4 years of 1.61. Not one single person has lost money doing this for any length of time in the last 4 years. We've been cashing out 48x profit since inception. I'm going to show you how we did it so you can do it too. In all honesty, trading's really hard. Like all this bullshit about like, you're like, just earn this, just earn that. You're going to end up selling your 4 screens with sands on Facebook Marketplace. It's rigged towards the insiders and whales. Thankfully, we can trade in the direction of the rigging. You need a lot of emotional fortitude to do this. There's a better way. You don't, most people, I don't have 5 screens. I have one big ass screen. You don't need to be an active trader. You don't need to spend any time on it. Let me show you how to turn a modest stake of a few $1,000s into retirement money. So if you've been screwed over before, whether that's the economy, the government, divorce, fucking meme coin, the LA vape cabal, anything else in your life, just know this may be your last easy shot at filling your pockets. Sorry, that's a bad slide. So how FinRev works, let me just stop sharing and I'll just log in here. Let me just log in. For fun, I'm going to show you an account which is running. This is Timon's account, and he runs it at 100 vol, which is much higher risk than I would ever recommend anyone ever running. We'll let you do it, but just tell you not to. So Timon put $200 in. I'll show you a lower risk account in a moment too. So here's $200 for 270, 230, 240, did nothing for years. If you get a bull market and you're trading trend and you're trading at high vol, he went 399, 450, 465, 446, 600, 667, 700, 1400, 2000, 2400, 4000. You can see that in that October through March bull run, he was up to 17,000, down to 12,000 in a day. He's having a wild ride. He got to 21,000. He had 6 months in the wilderness, going down as low as 11,000. I mean, this is starting with $200, mind you. As low as 8,845 from 21,000. So he had about a 65% drawdown at 100 volt. And then we got the Trump pump. He went from 8,845, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13, 14. Oh yeah, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. 30,000 he got to from $200. And then how much did he give back? He's given back, and he got to 13,000. So he's looking at, if you're going to run at high vol, he's looking at 70% drawdowns, 66% drawdowns. And where is he today? He's at 15,000 from his $200. Now, I'll show you with a more reasonable sort of risk taking thing in a moment. But it's the same for everyone. So the first thing you see, this is when you log in, this is the value of your account. This is how much profit you've made. He added some more, I think, in here at some point. Or he added, I can't remember when he added some more. Anyway, the next thing that you see is the top 10 long and short positions by value. So today he is long these 4 coins, BNB, XMR, LTC, TRX, and he's short he's short all this other stuff. We can get a detailed look at his positions from the position tab. And we can sort these by, alphabetical order, whether they're long or short. So we've got 4 longs and the rest are all shorts. And we've got a couple of pages of shorts. Or we can sort them by notional value, biggest to smallest. So we've got 2 reasonable sized long trades in the top 10. So we're about 80% short, roughly. Let's take a look at how it works. So let's click on Ethereum. This thing here is our signal. We use trend following algorithms to generate a signal. If that signal is positive, as in above this line here, we're betting that it goes up. If this signal is negative, as in like it is down here, we're betting that it goes down. Every day we're recalculating the signal and we readjust our position size. If it goes up a bit more, we've got to buy a bit more. If it goes down a bit more, we've got to sell it. We've got to short a bit more. So you can see here, it looked like it might break out. So we had to reduce our shorts. Now we've added to our shorts. We've added to our shorts. We bought some back here. We sold a bit. We added to our shorts a little bit. We're not sure which way it's going to go, but we're very, very short on Ethereum at this stage. Now let's look at something that's positive. TRX. Hell yeah. So here we got long TRX. Added to it, backed it off a bit, added to it, backed it off, added to it, booyah. And then we started banking profits, adding to it. So this is how it works. We're trimming up and down a little position. Now, let me just stop sharing for a shit and I'll show you a more reasonable, lower risk way to do this. So this is a longer term account running at 35 vol, which is really a conservative volatility target. And you can see it has long periods of sideways, and this is way back to 2023 in the middle of the bear market. And this guy has had the fortitude to stick with it. He pulled his money out for something for about 2 weeks here, and then put it back in. You're allowed to do that, by the way. If you see a good, like Trump launching another meme coin or whatever, and you want to pull your money out and stick it back in, you can do that. And you can see this is what this guy's looked like. He's turned his $48,000 into $174,000 over a few years. He's tripled his money, but it took him a few years. For some of you, that's not going to be enough, but that's what it is. I don't, and you know, exactly the same thing. The next thing that you can do is see a trade history. So you can see every day what happened. So today we trimmed a bit of Tau, we added a bit of ENA, sold a bit of Ton Chain, added a bit of Doge, and so on and so forth. You can see what we did every day. When the market goes down, we short more. When the market goes up, we buy more. That's basically what it is. When the market goes down, we short. When the market goes up, we buy. That's pretty much it. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, so what we're doing is using the same trading algorithms that are in wide use in the TradFi trend following world. No, we don't use 36 different ones anymore. We cut the bottom two out. We cut the long-term trend following out recently. We added a couple of vol normalized versions. I'm not sure if it's 36, but no, it's a little bit less. It's a bit smoother now. Yeah, it's a bit smoother. Okay, so these are the old school versions of the same thing. So this is the S&P 500 since 1970, and this is Dunn Capital, who are friends of mine actually. And you know, they've done 5 times as good as the stock market in the same period, but they have big drawdowns. Mulvaney Capital, these guys made me 400 grand last month. For the month of January, I got 400 grand out of them, and they've got my retirement accounts. They are just, this is the S&P 500. They're just absolutely crushing the S&P 500. Cliff Asness, hilarious guy on Twitter. You should follow him. He's got one of the best constructed trend following funds, and he made himself a billionaire. He's got 1.6 billion under of his own money in it. We've taken the same Wall Street algorithms, we applied them to crypto, and they perform really much better than they do in traditional finance because crypto is riskier, and most traditional finance people, most hedge fund guys don't want to trade crypto. This is why everyone's used this system has doubled their money. Nobody's ever lost money, no exceptions. It made just $10 million profit in the last 12 months with better risk-adjusted returns than George Soros and Ray Dalio put together. You know, it's better than any of the large hedge funds in the world. Let me just post the OX address. Someone wants it in the chat. Which chain would you like it for? So let me show you how to get it. That's probably better. So you go to Dex Screener, you search for the coin, pick the chain you want it on. This one is on base, so it's where I prefer to buy it. And then you go down here on the right hand side. See, this is where it says OX. This is the pair. Why don't I have all my retirement capital in FinRev? Because I have a huge tax bill. My retirement accounts are in Australian self-managed super funds, and I have a tax bill if I like a couple of $1 million tax bill if I swap it to FinRev, and it just hurts too much. It's just easier to build up FinRev from scratch. I get a couple of $1 million in it. It's going to be 10 million. It's not a big deal. Also, you shouldn't have your whole retirement account in any one thing. I don't think you should. I don't think that's sensible, and I don't think that's prudent. It's your retirement account. I'm 50 years old. You got no do-overs. What platform are we using here? This is our own custom platform. So this is the way it looks. So this is the yellow line is Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can see that sometimes Bitcoin and Ethereum does better than our strategy is input. But the problem with Bitcoin and Ethereum is bear markets. You get completely fucked. You get an 80% drawdown. You get a 50% drawdown. You get a 50% drawdown. But our strategy, it has drawdowns, but it mostly has long sideways periods. Yeah, Hyperliquid's going to be probably testing next week, I think. Probably another couple of weeks before we roll it out. Okay, this is a very good question, Craigo. The best time to add new funds to FinRev is in drawdown. Yeah, I would. So statistically, let's look at a longer view. Let's look at a longer view. So the periods where FinRev does worst are the periods of low volatility. So you can see these periods here are the shit times. And once we start to get a little bit of a wiggle into it, this is daily fluctuations, those wiggles tend to continue and correlate strongly with uptrends. So you can see here, this quiet period was no fucking good for FinRev. And then once we started to get a little bit of life, the life continues for a while, and that was good times. So here is shit. Once we start to get a bit of life, we can expect life for a good time, for a good bit of time. So for FinRev, what it feels like is that we're the start of a very strong bull run. Mike, no, there's no way to. I don't read emails. Sorry, and I can't jump on calls with anyone individually because the whole world is trying to hack me, right? Like almost everyone who wants to jump on a quick call with me really wants to hack me and steal my crypto, because people know I have a lot of it. So I would say add funds right now. I would say don't wait. Ordinarily, if you miss the next run, I would say wait until a reasonable drawdown. Now let me show you. Let me show you when I would add. So these are our drawdowns. So you can see we had our worst drawdown ever was 33% last year. It bounced back almost immediately. So anytime you get a drawdown of greater than 20%, these are about the times to add. At about 20% down, 20 to 30% down is a great time to add. This is a really good question, Mike. Yeah. Is staking a good? Yeah, I just need to borrow your laptop for a little while. Banger. Is staking a good idea with Hyperliquid? Yes and no. No, it doesn't pay very much. It only pays about 3%. Yes, it enables you for the next airdrop. So if the next airdrop was as generous as the last airdrop, it's a fucking great idea. If the next airdrop is not generous, it's a lottery. It's a free lottery ticket. I'm not pulling it out. So in the past, advanced trading secrets like this have always been reserved for the 1%, the ultra wealthy. And the original crypto ethos has always been about shifting the power away from those motherfuckers to us. We're leveling the playing field here so that anyone with the drive and the determination can build wealth for themselves. I've done it. Fuck, Ian's done it. Hype is short. Hype is the coin of Hyperliquid. Shares, what exchanges do I use? Binance, Bybit, KuCoin, Bitstamp, Hyperliquid, which I really like, OX.fun, DYDX. And I use dupe.ag for Solana swapping. It's so easy a baby can do it. This is my little baby here. And what you want to do is you want to have exposure to crypto's strongest coins when they go up without all of the nasty drawdowns. So we have drawdowns in FinRev. Like we have 30, 35%. We have regular 20%. You can buy Hyperliquid coin on KuCoin. You can buy it on Hyperliquid exchange. But let me show you how to figure it out. So what you do is you type in CoinGecko and then Hype. And then it'll bring you to a page where you can go to markets and you can get a list of markets. And these are the markets, BitGet. And you see which percentage of volume they have. That's how you do it. Trend Project is coming along great, dude. The idea is that you never get completely wrecked with this. You never like Trump, where you bought at $80 billion and now it's $3 billion. You're never in that situation. Made nearly 10 million in 2024, and it works. So what we do is we take these trend following signals and we run them through. We run them through an AI portfolio optimizer, and it allocates different capital to the ones that have done best over a rolling 6-month window, basically. It's called time series momentum, aka trend following. It's a very, very well understood. The first human city was in in modern day Iraq, ancient Sumeria, and the first money wasn't money. The first money was barley. They used barley instead of money back then. This was a green and fertile land 5,000 years ago. And they found all these cuneiform tablets, which are a day-by-day list of barley prices. And lo and fucking behold, you can run our trend following algos on, and coin market cap is really nice too. And you can run our trend following algos on, and they work just as good. And if any of you have traded my RTV, our retest patterns, or any of our old trend following systems from a couple of years ago, these didn't come from me. They came from 16th century Japanese rice farmers, and they knew about trend following back in the 16th century in Japan, and those systems still work really good today. Now, you probably didn't know that algorithmic trading is a solved problem. So let me show you. So I've shown you FinRev. I leveled the playing field. Anyone can take part now. Yep, there's definitely a recording, dude. If all of this stuff went over your head, this is fine. Sorry about the complicated nerd porn. We've done really well. So in bear markets, you can expect long sideways periods with explosive upside. But in bull markets, you can expect it steadier and smoother. So we're technically in a bull market phase, in a bear market phase, because we've gone sideways for a long time. Well, actually, we haven't. We're in a bull market phase, gone sideways for a short time. You're never really stuck in a drawdown with this. Like, let's say you want to buy a house or a car or something, and you're stuck down here. You have to wait to get your money back. Compounding is what really does the work. Like, compounding has done the work for me. I didn't start off with a big pile of money. I started off compounding a small stack into a bigger stack, and 100% per year, starting with 10K. After 5 years, you're at 380,000 at 10. But more importantly, you can see that it's working. You've got the confidence to stick with it. And then the real money comes in the last 5 years. We haven't had a losing year. Hopefully it stays that way. Now, FinRev Platinum is the new system. It's 1/3 trend following, 1/3 cross-sectional momentum, 1/3 cross-sectional carry. By blending those systems together, we get a smoother and higher return. FinRev Platinum, it just blows it out of the water. What's the danger of going into OX big time? I think OX is a slam dunk trade, dude. I think OX, but you want to farm the funding. That's what I'm doing. I wouldn't tell anyone to do something that I'm not doing, and I wouldn't tell anyone to do it in a different way than I'm doing it. Will 100% DGen FinRev account ever liquidate? That's a very good question. No. I think 100% account will ultimately, if you run it for 5 years, will have 90% drawdowns. So if we talk about FinRev Platinum versus gold, if you're starting off with $10,000, at the end of the next year, it's just a little bit ahead. But by 2 years, it's really pulling away, and by 3 years, it's way out in front. So FinRev Platinum is a little bit smoother, less drawdowns, and more upside. It's got a higher Sharpe ratio, meaning higher risk-adjusted returns. We've been testing it at a little bit over 2. 2.15 is probably a little bit ambitious. And also this 243% is probably a bit higher risk target than I'd be comfortable with you guys using. Straight FinRev Gold is very safe to use at 100 volt target. FinRev Platinum is not safe to be used at 100% volt target for a bunch of technical nerd reasons that'll confuse you. So anyway, so hopefully you're seeing how this can get you a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Okay, yeah, no, I should. By the way, we never hold your funds. You're not giving your money to me and hoping that I give it back. That's all stupid. Never do any of that. You put an API key and you trade from your own exchange or from your own DeFi wallet. We custom tailor it for everyone. You get a custom version that's for your specific needs, your specific risk tolerance, wherever you are from. You know, as you're closer to retirement, you have to be more conservative. If you're younger, you can push the boat out a little bit on risk. If you've got a very stable income, you can be a bit riskier. If your income is tied to the internet, you have to dial the risk back a little bit because the internet and crypto are really, correlated. Okay, so here's what we get. If you do dumb degen bragging on OX, I'll fucking take your money. If you trade memes against me, I'll take your money. What is the theoretical sweet spot for vol and platinum? I think 50 is safe. You could go a little bit higher. I wouldn't want to see, FinRev's my company. I wouldn't want to see past 70%. I would think 70% on platinum is about where you go, but 100% on 100% on gold is totally fine. So here's what you get. FinRev Gold is 6,500 for 3 years. We charge it in 3-year lots because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You have to stick with it for a couple of years. It's going to have sideways period. It's just a slow time then. It only, and let me show you some stats. It's only winning 52% of days and 61% of months. So we're not talking about a crystal ball here. We're talking about winning 61% of the months, but we're talking about winning every year. You just email support, they'll change the vol for you. So we give you a $500 USD Tether bonus to get started trading right away. You have VIP onboarding with one of our expert crypto trader coaches like Ian, like Maurizio, like Coach Paul, like all the guys you know who are as good at traders as me now. Some of them, a couple of them are even better. You can delay starting or pause at any time. If you want to throw some money in Hyperliquid, or if you want to throw your money in whatever degenerate thing of the moment is happening, you can just pause and restart whenever you want. Unless you're in profit after your first 12 months using the system, we'll let you use it for free until you've doubled your money. So what I'd like you to do now is to go to finrev.trade/call and book your call, if that's for you. Now, I personally use FinRev Gold over Platinum, and I'm going to continue doing that because I'm a fucking degenerate. And I like to trade at very, very high vol targets because I understand the system really well. I'm comfortable with drawdowns. I've been through lots of drawdowns in my life. It doesn't bother me. And I'm a psychopath. So if that wildness isn't for you, FinRev Platinum is much smoother, much easier to live with, much more stable, much more consistent. It's 9,500 for 3 years, but you also get 3 accounts. So you can run a low risk, a medium risk, and then a degen account where you could maybe just run gold at a high target. Tony raises a good question. Is 45 volt target enough? 45 volt target is just about optimal. And how do we tell this? So let's look at from the start of the bull market. Started in October to today. And let's look at Bybit. John G, does integrating with Hyperliquid produce better results than with Hyperliquid? Right now, Probably slightly. In long term, definitely yes. Because when we started with DYDX was 5 times as big as Hyperliquid. Now Hyperliquid is 5 times as big as DYDX. So these are our volatility targets. 50 is high risk, 45 is medium risk, 40 is a bit less, and 35 is conservative. No one uses 35 anymore on this exchange, so someone started. So you can see that your 45, we've got 40 taking less risk, less spikes, but less drawdown. 45 is in the middle and 45 is at the top. So what that tells us is that we haven't found an optimal maximum thing. So because the orange line stays above the green line, stays above the red line, mostly in the bad times, the orange line gets fucked a little harder. Is it going to be a chore to move from DYDX to Hyperliquid? No, it's going to be a lot easier than getting on DYDX in the first place. So FinRev Platinum, you get 3 accounts. You can run them all at different vol targets. You get the mix of cross-sectional momentum, cross-sectional carry, and trend. You get all the stats and monitoring that I've showed you today. You're grandfathered into new systems. We've got a few more on the drawing board. You can delay starting or pause at any time. We've got the same W money guarantee. You should book this call now. There was one more trade that I meant to tell you that I didn't. So let me show you another really cool trade before we go. So if we look at how Bitcoin has performed by day, over the last month, you can see that Saturday and Sunday have been completely crap and Monday has been pretty good. Has that held for 3 months? Yes, it has. Saturday and Sunday have been crap. Has it held for 6 months? Yes, Saturday and Sunday have been crap. Can anyone guess why this would be the case? In the chat. No one's got any idea? Okay, I'll tell you. Because the other markets are closed. The other markets are closed. So if you're a stock trader and you know that crypto and the stock market are the same basic thing, and Trump opens his mouth and says, we're going to war on Monday morning, 9 a.m. We're going to fucking war. We're going to bomb those motherfuckers, whoever the motherfuckers are. And he's done that every weekend for the last 3 weekends, right? Like forever. And so all the people who are freaking out about their stocks, they can't hedge out their risk. The only place that's open, the only casino that's open is Bitcoin on the weekend. And so a very, very strong trade right now. It wasn't that way a year ago, Graham Sellers. So what changed? What changed was the Bitcoin ETFs. So everyone thought those Bitcoin ETFs. Eric, go fast. Not yet. We'll tell you when you have to do it. So those Bitcoin ETFs have introduced very strong negative weekend seasonality. How do you trade this? You want an edge so strong that you can trade it with potato. So here's how you trade it. Friday afternoon, you short Bitcoin. Monday lunchtime, you cover the short. The end. Do it every week. I'm doing it this weekend. Mail for Nash. Yeah, I would. If you want to trade high vol, you have to be prepared for large drawdowns. They're basically it's like a FinRev meme coin, right? If you want FinRev to trade like a meme coin, you can make FinRev trade like a meme coin. Yeah, we have people getting good results from small accounts, but FinRev Gold, not FinRev Platinum, and probably 100 volt. Yeah, guys, honestly, I'm going to hand it back to Ian. I've taken an hour and a half of your time. Book this call, finrev.trade/call. Yeah, you can do 2 platinum, 1 gold, of course. And that's actually get sub. That's what I would do. I would do 2 platinum, 1 gold as part of it. You get, when you join platinum, you get 3 accounts.
Nice.
What a really fantastic call that was. And
It was dope. We got some good trades, right? Like there's
yeah.
there's no excuses for just like fucking bitching about it. Like we get the market, we get the market. Yeah, by Friday PM, sell it Monday. You can do it on spot. But that's this is one of the ones that I would probably use leverage for, because Bitcoin doesn't move around that much. Sorry, you would short Bitcoin Friday, then buy it Monday. Sorry, Ralph. It's the other way around.
Nice. There's a couple of questions about payment plans, which are
Yeah, there's
available.
payment plans. If you want a longer period, shorter period, you just want to try it. Look, if you suck at this, just fully automate it. Like, honestly, trading is like, I know we're here to convince people to trade, but probably you shouldn't trade, because trading sucks. Like, I know. I nearly booked myself into a mental hospital twice last year from trading. Like, it's a fucking stressful way to live. And I'm better than most, Like, Ian, I see him nodding his head there. Trading will hurt your feelings, right, bro?
Oh, it doesn't give a it wakes up every day to fuck me around and aggravate. Yeah, it will hurt your feelings. But I mean, with the introduction of FinRev, so I run a FinRev DGen account, and I got a long-term FinRev account. It really, for me, I'm enjoying my own manual trading more than ever, because I've got these FinRev accounts that are running and they're doing their thing. So yeah, it's weird. Like, it shouldn't affect your performance, but it does, because it's like you take off that, got to get this done type of edge. So that's why I do less trade. Like, used to do a lot of the rules-based trading, like back when we were CSI and stuff like that. And that's such a good way to learn the discipline and start to see how trading works. And you think, I'm getting somewhere now. And then you realize it's just every day the market wakes up. But then you go into these good times. And then the more that you kind of watch these calls and the more that you stay tuned, that's when you start to realize that a lot of the heuristics that you use that sound so ridiculously simple at first, but you start to see why they're heuristics. There's an easy time to trade and there's a hard time to trade. Which one do you want to choose? But during those times, FinRev is just working. And that working can be that I'm not getting wrecked, versus my long-term holds that I'm looking at. And I'm like, well, I'm totally fine, but damn, I could have bought that a bit lower. Did I buy that a little bit too early? Whereas FinRev doesn't have those issues. It's just a machine that gets up and does its job. It has no excuses. It never has a hangover.
There's a couple of questions from CTH888. Does gold have more signals and therefore more trades than what's in silver? So silver is probably has only a handful of trades, because that's all you can do. If I tell you to do 100 trades a day, you can't do. So gold holds a portfolio of 100 different coins. So it's holding 100 coins at any one time. Might be 20 long, 80 short. Right now, it's like four long, 96 short. So it's a lot. So it's, instead of like signals in and out binary, it's more like we're working into a position and then we're working out of it, and we're holding a statistically optimized portfolio.
Nice. So I don't want to be the one that spoils the fun, but we've kept people for 90 minutes now.
Yeah. I think it was a really good call today. I'll do another one next week on some of those OX trades, going into the details, and I'll teach you all how to do that. That's all that OX stuff is fucking great. Shorting new listings, fucking great. There's hyperliquid, fucking great. Like, there's shit we can do right now today. And my advice for you, if you're a trader, is you got to wake up today and say, what can I do to make money today with my skills, with my level of infrastructure, with the skills and ability and knowledge that I have? If you don't have skills, ability, and knowledge, you're limited. But you still have to make money today. This has to be your priority. Is what can I wish I had a PhD in mathematics, but I don't. So I can't do some of the shit that I'd like to do. You know, you just got to deal with the world as it is, the market as it is, face reality head on. Let's get this fucking money, guys.
Nice. Out of here. Ta-da.